Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews Podcast, where we talk about all manner of films, whether they're good, bad, or, well, anything in between, really. We'll give them a watch and give you our honest opinions on them. Today I am joined by Kerr9000.
Hello.
How you doing, dude?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Just, tired as always. When am I
You've
not?
got kids, so that's normal, isn't it?
Yeah. Only 3 of them are here, though. One of them's in university, so. Well, 2 of them are in school. Only one of them's here right now. He's in college tomorrow. So there you go. The film we are going to be discussing today is a film that Kerr chose, which is Send Help. Why did you pick Send Help?
Well, originally, me and my missus were going to go see it in the cinema,
Right.
but thing just came up after thing, and it came down to we wanted to see it,
Yeah.
but we also wanted to see The Strangers Chapter 3 and another horror film. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but we could view 28 years later, The Bone Temple. We could either view 28 years later, The Bone Temple, and then see Strangers Chapter 3 immediately after. But Send Help was like in the middle, and we could have only seen that.
Right. So, yeah,
So
it makes sense.
we decided we'd do the double bill and catch Send Help sometime, and then family just kept needing things, and this got pushed to the back burner.
Yeah. Okay. Totally fair. This was different to what I expected. Because I didn't really know anything about it. Obviously you mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, why not? I'll watch it tonight. It was because yesterday you mentioned it, and I was like, I'll just watch it tonight. So I did. And yeah, it was rather fun, actually. Like I said,
It's
different.
a very fun film.
Different to what I expected. I expected it to be like, this man and woman end up on an island together and they end up getting friendly and everything goes smoothly. That is not what happens.
No, not in the slightest.
Nope. Yeah, so basically it starts off with, I think her name is Linda, in her office, and some guy, I forgot his name, like asking her for her work. And it's like, don't worry, your name is on there. You'll, it'll be attributed to you. And then first thing I wrote down, I bet he throws a note with her name on in the bin. And as soon as he goes into that room, with the people, like the board, to show him the work, takes the note off, scrumples it up, throws it in the bin. I was like, what a dick.
It immediately shows that she's like downtrodden and does all the work and gets 0 credit on it.
Exactly, yeah. Though, to be fair, she was going to get promoted to vice president or wherever it is by the original person who owned the business. But obviously, they died, and the son was going to take over and give the job to her, but decided he wasn't going to because he finds us disgusting, I think. And was going to give it to that other guy who took the note and threw it in the bin because they were in like college or university or something together. So that's basically it. Like it's not what you know, it's who you know, as the saying goes.
Did you notice who the original company owner, his father, was?
I didn't know.
His portrait was on the back of a wall in the office, and this film's directed by Sam Raimi, obviously of The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The dad was Bruce Campbell.
I didn't notice. That's really cool.
Yeah. I really wish they'd had a flashback just so he could have been in it for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I would have liked that.
It was a neat little thing to see. Oh, that's who was going to give her the promotion.
Because even the guy advisor, I assume, was like, yeah, she works hard, she deserves a job. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna give it to Leonard. I don't know his name, Bob, Trevor.
I don't remember.
I'm good at remembering things. I'm not.
Donovan,
I tend to write them down. Donovan, that's the one. Yeah, it is Donovan, yeah. Donovan. So Donovan was getting the job. And he's like, but Donovan doesn't know this information. So then Bradley, I believe his name is the guy who's taking over from his father.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we'll get her to teach him all the stuff he needs to know, and then we'll get rid of her. And so she's annoyed. She overhears that Donovan is getting the vice president job and marches into his office, and she's pissed off. And you could clearly see she's pissed off. And he's like, you've got some balls coming in here. You come with us on this trip and give us this information and stuff. Show us what you can do and you can get the job instead of Donovan, which is obviously a lie. We know he's going to give the job to Donovan anyway. So they all jump on on a plane together. Plane goes down. The scene in which that happens is fucking brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
You can see, though, it shows her at one point in her house before I get onto the plane. It shows her in her house. And she's, like, making food. And it's, like, showing her house as well. And you can see, like, there's lots of survival books and things like that. So it's like, clear foreshadowing to what's going to happen when she goes on this plane. And, obviously, the plane does go down, but the scene is brilliant. The window blows out, and Donovan's like, help, and grabs Linda. Linda's trying to help him, and then he just turns around and goes, give me a seat! And it's like, what the fuck? And then another guy, who is one of the friends then of Bradley, is grabs onto Donovan's leg. And instead of him trying to help him in any way, he starts kicking him in the fucking teeth. And you can see his teeth getting smashed out of his face. And then that guy then bites Donovan's leg. And Donovan starts strangling Linda because he wants that fucking seat so he's safe. And Linda stabs him in the hand with a fork. He then goes flying out the out of the hall. Like I'm not sure, his tie or something gets caught on the side of the plane. So he's like banging against the window of the plane. And he's like, Linda, do something. And she just pulls the fucking blind down so she can't see him. I thought that was brilliant. That is really funny. I did like that. But also it looked fucking so painful having your face smashed in, like the teeth flying out.
But they played it great because just before that, you could see them all watching her Survivor video, and laughing at her and taking the pee out of her, and she was sat there working hard and diligently, and you kind of thought, they're all dicks. So it really set you up to sort of want to see them suffer. And then
definitely
mightily delivered it.
They did, yeah, it does. And obviously, again, it's foreshadowing with the whole survival aspect of the film, and so the plane goes down. Shows her getting out of the plane. And then it shows her waking up on the beach. And then she comes across, she like looks around a little bit, finds that Bradley on the beach as well. Somehow he managed to survive. And I believe it's just them two, unless other survivors went somewhere else. But I don't think there was any other survivors.
Like that.
No, and then she notices he's got a fucked up leg. She says it's not broken, but it is messed up. So she starts going into survival mode, building shelters. She puts him in a shelter to keep him like safe. She does things like gather water, food, and various other things. And he eventually comes round, and he's like still being a right dick to her. And like one of the things he says is like, I'm your boss, you do as I say, kind of thing. And she's just like, really? And then she just walks off. And just leaves him to himself. and he's on his own for I think a day, and he is fucking completely fucked from it.
Yeah.
He really is. That Bradley is a right dick to her, like throughout the majority of the film. And she comes back and is like, oh, so, you know, how you getting on? And he's like, I need your help, please. And stuff like that. So she does stick around. They work together. He obviously his leg heals after a few weeks of them being there. And there's at one point she then goes to hunt for a boar because she sees boar tracks. And that is one of the best scenes in the film.
Oh, that's amazing.
We were watching it, me and the missus was like, why is that boar so snotty? Because it's been she attacks the boar, and the boar like chases after her and stuff, and then it's about to ram into her, and she pulls up a spear that she's made, stabs it right in the, like, I don't know, chest area, and loads of blood sprays all over her. And then the boar isn't quite dead and keeps trying to get at her. And there's just loads of blood spraying out of the boar's mouth and loads of snot coming out of his nose. And it's like, what the actual fuck? Why is there so much snot? I get the blood. I don't get the snot.
the boar thing, when it's first like coming, it does the same camera as the Evil Dead, where you don't see the boar, you see like the creature's movements as the camera's shaking and moving.
Yeah.
And then when the blood's spraying in her face and like going in her mouth and eyes, it's just like in the Evil Dead films where Ash would get sprayed with blood. And I was just like, yeah, this is classic Sam Raimi. You can tell it's him. Making the actor suffer, covering him in buckets full of blood. Proper signature Sam Raimi, and it's amazing. And it is probably, I'm not sure if the aeroplane scene or that scene's my favourite, but those two scenes are just perfect capsules of film.
Yeah, is brilliantly done. And the way like you said, it's just like the blood is going all over her face, in her mouth. It's great. Snot's probably going in her mouth too, to be fair, which is grim. Obviously she's like, oh, you know, throws the ball by him. He then gets splattered in loads of blood as well. And they're like, this is the nicest thing, because they then cook it and eat it, and they're like, this is the nicest food I've ever had. Because previously she gives him fish and he did not like the fish.
No.
He was being like a bit of a stuck-up knob. But, you know, yet it in the end, the ball and stuff.
Yeah.
They have a bit of a falling out not long after this, because he's like, you know, I'm just gonna do what I need to do on my own, because, you know, he believes he can do what she can do. And he ends up again, it's longer this time, and he's trying to cope, trying to build his own structures and stuff. He can't really do it. He ends up starving, like where he's so hungry he eats a fucking bug, and it is grim.
Oh, it is.
And then she walks past with all this food and stuff, and she's sitting down eating like this sushi and stuff it is. And, well, I say sushi, it's like raw fish and various other bits and bobs. And he comes along and he's like, oh, hi. And she's like, oh, you got something in your teeth, and it's this big fucking bit of bug leg. And he's like, oh, this is the nicest looking food I've seen and stuff like that. It's like better than restaurant quality. And she's like, oh, will you go above and beyond for me? And he starts taking his clothes off. He's like, oh, I'm not like you. I wouldn't do that. Because in a previous thing, he's like that with a woman who's applying to be maybe a secretary or PA or something.
Yeah.
So I think that was what it was implied there. And I think her saying like, I'm not like you. I'm not that kind of person. But she's like, I'm the boss in this now, not you. And he's like, yep, fair enough. I'll just do as you say. You can teach me what we need to know and what have you. And it goes quite well again for a little while. It shows that shows them working well together. The issue is you have then is they get drunk on toilet wine, as it's called. My favourite drink. Toilet wine. But they get drunk on toilet wine, and she tells her about her husband and how he ended up dead. By she just put the keys on the table and he drove off and ended up dying in a car crash because he was drunk, because he was a drunk and did horrible things to her. Who knows what, doesn't say. Probably, rape or something. Maybe worse. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can get worse than that, to be honest. But maybe something else, but it's implied that to me at least, anyway. And then she says something along the lines of, oh, maybe we should just stay here forever. And after she says that, he kind of is he gives her this strange look as if to say, I don't want this. I don't want to stay here forever. But he then just seems to be playing along with her then.
Yeah.
And then it's been days and days again. And he's like, oh, I'll make you some food. I'll make you some food. And she's like, oh, that's nice of you. And he does make her food. And then he in that food, he drugs her. I don't know what with. I can't remember. But he drugs her, which...
Earlier in the film, she shows him some orange berries. And she says they're poisonous. And I think she goes, I'll give you a clue. Any berry that does this and rubs it on her arm and it brings it up in hives and stuff. And she goes, that will poison you. So I'm assuming that what he's done is gone and got those orange berries, mashed them up, and put them into the food.
Yeah, probably a small amount because he doesn't want to kill her. He just wants to make her ill.
Yeah.
And then while she's half dead on the floor, he runs off because you see him at one point and he's in the bushes doing something. You don't know what. And then he runs off into the bushes and he comes out with this raft and he goes into the sea and he's like, fuck you, Linda, as he's rafting off. And his raft obviously gets smashed up by waves and he ends up back on the beach. And she saves him and obviously she needs to resuscitate him.
Oh, yeah.
And she's resuscitating him. And every few seconds, she's just spewing in his face. She's giving him mouth to mouth, and then she starts doing compressions on his chest, and just spews all in his mouth. It's fucking grim. It's so fucking great. I genuinely thought that was fucking hilarious. I was eating ice cream at the time, though, so it wasn't the most appealing thing to be watching.
Dear.
It was no. But yeah, that was fucking brilliant because he sees his fiance as he's must be drowning or whatever, and then his fiance's speaking to him, and then all of a sudden the fiance just goes, and it's actually Linda just spewing in his fucking mouth. That's brilliant. And then he's apologizing to her. Say, look, I didn't want to kill you. I just wanted to make you sick. I wanted to get off this island and so on and so forth. And she's like, that's fine. Just eat this to get your strength back up. She starts eating it. And all of a sudden he slowly stops being able to move. And she's like, this is because of this octopus. I wanted to teach you a lesson. You poisoned me. I've done it back.
Yeah.
And she said, don't worry about it. I had a dog once when I was a kid. And it kept running away. So my father said that's the reason why he's running away is because he needs to be fixed. And you're like, oh fuck, where's this going? And I thought this really takes a fucking turn from here on out. And she then pulls his trousers down, pulls his pants down, and then he's crying because he can't move or anything. He can't feel anything either. So he's assuming that she's cutting off his balls, and we are led to believe she's cutting off his balls. And he's like, oh my God, we've got a bleeder here. And she's cutting away, and you can hear her cutting away. And then he's crying. And she goes, don't worry, it's just a rat. Pulls up a rat. So she was actually cutting into a rat, not his balls. But his, I don't know. So she says to him, you need to fucking, listen to what I'm saying, do as I fucking say kind of thing. You're the bitch, I'm in charge now kind of attitude. And he then obviously falls in line again. And
I have to admit, I wouldn't have blamed her at all if she had cut his balls off.
Poisoning her, yeah, but he did just want to get off the island, to be fair. She can't really begrudge him that.
Yeah, but I do think he was a shit human being in general.
He was.
I don't know, I think even as grim as that'd be, I'd got no problems with her up to a little point in the future, and then I'll mention where my problem lies with her.
Yeah. So the film is going on fine. They get on well. She is out in this one area where she tells him not to go there. It's full of like poisonous poisonous wildlife, poisonous like bushes and stuff, and it's really dangerous. It's meters wide, and you will end up dead going there, kind of thing. But it turns out it's not that. It's another reason. It's because when she was there earlier in the film, she saw a boat, and she was going to call him, and then decided not to because she wanted to I think she wanted to just teach him a lesson, show him how. Initially, I think she just wanted to show him that she's better than what he is giving her credit for, and she deserves to be in that job. I think that's how it started, and she wanted to show, like, you need to depend on me to survive, and so on and so forth. Well, she goes back there, and another boat shows up, and then it's a person waving up going, Linda! And it turns out to be the fiancé. And she's like, oh shit, like, looking around, you could clearly see she doesn't know what to do. Linda doesn't. And he's like, yeah, Bradley's here, he's alive, he's fine, I'll go take you to him. So she takes him across this shortcut, which clearly isn't a shortcut, that's across a cliff face. And like, come on this way, and then she pretends to do up a shoelace. He's like, you go in front of me, and the fiancé ends up standing on a rock that collapses. This happened previously to Linda, where that Bradley saved her life. So she knew about this dodgy bit of cliff face, this path. So she basically tricked the fiancé into go in there, so she would fall. And they are begging for help, and then it just cuts to Linda going back to camp. And you can tell she feels really guilty because she's very, very off seeming. And then she goes to sleep, and she sees his fiancée coming on the beach, going, you tried to kill me, and she's like crawling across the beach. And then she starts screaming at Linda, and Linda's like, no, and tries hitting her with a torch. You know, an old school torch, not the British type of torch, which is a flashlight in the US. So she tries hitting him with a torch, and she disappears. So clearly, you know from that, she's definitely fucking dead. And she then sees like a rotted version of her and freaks out, and then wakes up because she was dreaming it all. But the next day, Bradley's like, come on, I saw a boar, we should go hunt for it. And she's like, I'm taking a sick day. And he's like, oh, well, I can't do it on my own, but I'm going to have to try. So he goes off to find this boar, and this boar was eating something, and we were like, right, I bet you that's his fiancé he's eating. And it turns out the hand of his fiancé is sticking out of the sand. Don't know how it was in that position. And he recognises the ring on her finger, because it's the ring he obviously gave her. And then he freaks out a bit. And he then runs to deal with her, to deal with Linda. And he confronts her about her, and she's like, she fell from the cliff, it was an accident. And he's like, what, just like your husband was an accident? And then obviously Linda runs off, he chases her. And throughout this, Linda's somehow got a knife, she said, that washed up on shore. At this point, Bradley gets the knife, and Linda must have left it somewhere or something, because it doesn't explain how he got her. But throughout the film, she's got a knife that washed up on shore. They then end up fighting in like this grove, a little wooded area, because there's a lot of wooded area on the island. And that fight was fucking brilliant, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Oof.
It did make me laugh. It is brutal. Like, they're fighting like fuck, which is funny. And then obviously she's like strangling him with a rope, a shoelace from her shoes. And he then grabs her by the head, yanks her off his shoulders, and at the same time semi-scalps her. Takes a bit of flesh right off her head, and he's like, ah, and she loses her shit because of it, and then runs at him, jumps on him, and then takes a big chunk out of his, literally bites a massive chunk out of his shoulder and spits it out. It's fucking hilarious.
And then he sticks his thumb in her eye, Stooges style, and her eye goes all bloodshot, and it's amazing.
Yeah. He manages to escape because he is, I believe, strangling her and, winning the fight, so to speak. But she manages to grab the knife off the floor because it's dropped when Bradley's being strangled. And she manages to stab him in the side. He then runs off, and she realizes where he's running. He runs to the area that she warned him not to go because of how dangerous it is. Well, it turns out in that area, it wasn't just that she saw a boat. There was a big fucking house there.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice, fucking expensive house that they said like some billionaire owned. And he ends up getting into the house. And this is where, obviously, the final confrontation takes place. But he's like, what the actual fuck is going on, like? And all of a sudden, he hears Linda speaking to him. And he's like looking around and can't see her. But it turns out she obviously knew about the house. She got to the house and was in the like security room, I guess, with watching him on cameras and speaking through a sound system. So she's saying, explains basically, yeah, I saw this house, but I thought we needed more time here. I can't remember if anything specific is said, but she's like, we needed more time here. So I didn't tell you about it. And it's funny how you thought that a knife just washed up on the beach. How can a knife just wash up on the beach? You really are stupid, that kind of thing she's saying. Because she found the house, stuffed her face with loads of food and stuff because it'd just been stocked by the first boat that she saw. And she took a knife, and obviously that's what she was using to do things. So this is where the final battle happens, so to speak. And she confronts him with a shotgun. And he's on the floor, on his knees, and he's begging her, like, oh, please, I love you. I'm so sorry. I realize now how much you mean to me. And she's like, okay. And they're like, yeah, we could stay here forever. And they both say an A. And then all of a sudden, she looks around the room and notices, like, there's a horn missing off a statue. He attacks her. He has a shotgun off her. Proceeds to try and shoot her. She grabs a golf club and says, hits him in the leg. I think she hits him in the hands first, maybe?
Yeah.
The face, then the leg. He falls to the floor and said, remember, I'm, strategy and planning. So basically, she planned the shotgun thing.
Yeah.
To make it look like she had a shotgun because she knew what he was going to do. And then it shows her swing the golf club at his head. And then it cuts to the next scene where it shows her playing golf in a charity celebrity event. And I thought that was funny because she didn't like golf, but she's taking it up now after smashing his fucking head in with a golf club. And obviously she's interviewed and she's like, we're interviewing Linda Little. She's the only survivor of the plane crash last year. And obviously it shows her playing golf and she's like, yeah, I've really come to like this sport. And she then drives off with her, I think she has a trophy, so she must have won. And it shows her driving off with One Way or Another. I'm going to find you. I'm not sure what the song is called.
Oh, it's Blondie. It's One Way or Another.
It is One Way or Another, is it? By Blondie, yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows that because she was speaking in the very beginning of the film. Someone mentions about going to karaoke to another person. She's standing there, I love going to karaoke. That's the best karaoke. That's the best place in town. We should go in the city, she says, I think, actually. And my song is One Way or Another by Blondie. And he's like, I have no idea. And she's like, you don't know that? And he's like, no, and just walks off. Because clearly no one likes her for some reason.
No.
And that's literally the film. It shows her then look at the camera as she drives off, but it's basically, don't fuck with her.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's a lot more clever than you give her credit.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with anything she did to him, really, because he was an asshole and he'd clearly abused and preyed on people his whole life.
Yeah.
And got away with it. I didn't like that she, I suppose, killed. Well, she did, didn't she? Because she smashed the guide's head in and made the woman drop. But,
Yeah.
She killed the two of them, and I don't think they deserved it. Because I'm sure the guy's fiance didn't know he was an arsehole, because he probably acted nicey to her to get her interested. That's the thing where I sort of turned on her a bit, and I was like, I don't want him to sort of win because he's a douchebag, but I'm not entirely sure I really want her to win either, because maybe they're both just terrible people.
Yeah, I think when pushed, she can be like a terrible person, so it's because her husband thing.
Yeah.
It's because of her giving him the keys, giving him another drink and saying, off you fucking go, he died.
Yeah.
But it's because she was pushed to that point. And I think
left to her own devices, she'd probably be a nice person, sort of.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. Pushed enough, someone can, go too far. And I think that's what this was. I think it got to the point on the island where she felt so dominant in her role that she didn't want to lose that. And I think then that's where it turned against her with the whole killing the guy and the fiance.
Yeah.
It was literally like they could have just left and probably maybe been all right. But probably not. He probably still would have fucked her off, even though she kept him alive and stuff. And I think she didn't want to lose that power in the end. She got to see what it was like to be the fucking boss.
Yeah.
And wanted to keep it, I guess. Keep that feeling. There you go.
Yeah. So, no, I think you're probably right. She got a bit power drunk.
Yeah.
But for somebody who'd always been powerless and preyed upon, I guess it would be hard not to get power drunk.
Agreed. I agree, yeah. Yeah, I would say that was a really good film overall. Like, I think
I enjoyed it.
I think everyone should definitely watch this film. I thought it was fucking brilliant. I genuinely did. I thought it was fucking great. Yeah, definitely watch it. I'd give it like 8 or 9 out of 10 because I really, really enjoyed this. I thought it was great. Yeah. Great film. I didn't find it like boring or anything at any point either, which is good because some films can have their ups and downs. This film was just genuinely fun throughout.
Oh, definitely. I'd give it a 9. I think it was a real strong watch. It was a reasonably long film that didn't feel long.
No, it didn't. I think it was 1 hour 53.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's nearly 2 hours long. And it did not feel that long, but I was thinking when they landed on the island, I was like, how the heck? Because they land on the island fairly early. And I was thinking, because I was thinking, like, how is this film going to last nearly 2 hours when they're already on the island? And then by the end, I was like, that was 2 hours. Fair enough. I did enjoy it. I think the whole absolute power, well, she didn't have absolute power, but she had power, and it kind of corrupted her in a sense by making her kill other people, kill him, and then obviously she moved on with her life and seemed to become popular and happy. So, just don't fuck with women. I'll smash you in the head with a golf club. Yeah, I do agree with you though. When it came to the point of her killing the fiance and the random guy, it was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of gone the other way now. She's definitely lost it a bit. Yeah. I think it started going that way, though, when she did seem like she was cutting off his bollocks just so he didn't run away again.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he poisoned her, it was that he ran away.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? It's, you look at why she did it. If she did it because you nearly killed me, it's one way. But if it's like the you were going to leave me thing, it paints it in a total different light.
Yeah. But yeah, I genuinely think if you haven't seen this film, even though we've spoiled most of it, you should watch it. Hopefully you've watched the film and then listened to this, because obviously I don't want to spoil the film beforehand. But I always say, every time, watch the film first before you listen. At least you'll know what we're talking about then. And also, another thing is you've seen the film and nothing gets spoiled. I'm nice like that. But yeah, I think that's going to be us with this one. But is there anything else you would like to add first?
I think this is the first time that we've done 2 films in a row by the same director. Same director as Quick and the Dead.
Yep.
You wouldn't really expect that, would you, with the differences?
One thing I will say about this film, though, is I expected him to find his fiancée a little bit later than he did. He found her in pretty much the scene or two after. Maybe 3 scenes later. I expected it to be quite a bit later. And then it would all come up, but it was help me find a pig. Well, bull. No, I'm taking the day off. Okay, I'll do it myself. Oh, I found my fiancée. And it's wow, that was quick. There you go. Yeah, good film. I literally wrote in my notes at the end, good film. Which I don't normally do. So there you go. Anyway, that is going to be us. We will see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.
Bye.